So Celtics have been struggling as of late, basically losing like 4 or 5 in a row, which is absolutely ridiculous for the amount of talent that they have. They lost games to the Bulls. I mean, the Bulls, ladies and gentlemen. Again, guys had two guys had 40 point, 30 point. I think Markkinen had 32, and Levine had 45. They got trumped by the Raptors. They lost by 30 plus there. And, Kyrie's still voicing a lot of confidence in his team. He's like, nobody can really mess with us when it comes to the playoff time. But there's a lot of flaws in the Kyrie's logic. Number one, this team hasn't been battle tested as a unit together. Last year's unit is different from this year's unit. Last year's unit is different from this year's unit. Point blank, period. Period. You know what I'm saying? And that's different from 2 years ago's unit who had Isaiah Thomas, who had Jay Crowder. When Celtics were being much successful, guys accepted their role as blue collar kind of guys. They come in, they know their role, they know what they're supposed to do. When Kyrie came to Boston, it's like guys didn't want to accept their role. So guys like Marcus Morris, Marcus Smart, it's like guys started wanting to say like, hey, I can play Terry Rozier. Hey, I can play. Kyrie was hurt. I came in. I stepped up. I did what I had to do. I can play. Marcus Morris, I can play. I can shoot. I get to the basket. Al Horford, I can play. Hey, I can play too. Jason Tatum, I can play. I'm a breakout star. I'm just as good, or if not better than Kyrie. I know he's not saying that, but with the way he's playing this game, that's what's going on here. The locker room is split so badly, and the only person that really could take responsibility for that is the head coach. When I watch the Celtics play, all I'm seeing is guys freezing other guys out. Nobody's talking about this. These guys are taking tougher shots and not making the correct plays just so they can get the accolade and the glory. Even with Kyrie Irving, you look at his play in perspective, with a squad like that, he should be averaging at least 8 to 12 assists per game easily because he can create off the dribble and he opens up the floor for everybody else. That's not what's going on with Kyrie right now. That's not what's going on with Kyrie right now. He is not maximizing his potential with the team. You could clearly see his frustration the other night when he went to the bench. He's yelling at guys and stuff like that. Everybody's frustrated because everybody's freezing each other out. Nobody wants to sacrifice themselves for the betterment of the team. And the coach is not pointing that out in the preparation, in the film study when they watch it. These guys could think like, okay, playoffs gonna come, we're gonna turn it on. But this group as a collective, they're not battle tested. And what happens is when you're not battle tested, is you lose in the playoffs very ugly. I remember this when you look at the Lakers and like I think it was 05, 04 when they lost 05 or 04, they lost to the Pistons, got beat like four games to one because that group wasn't battle tested. They had some injuries, yes, but collectively they weren't there. And that split between Kobe and Shaq really was everything. And it showed in the finals where they just got blew off the floor. You look at the Celtics, on paper, they have as much talent or more talent than Toronto and the Bucks. But if they were played to play those teams in a 7 game series now, they're not winning. I know people are like, well, don't get overzealous. Don't take this moment of weakness as something that's going to portray itself in the playoffs. But here's the thing. When you're halfway through the season, your team has built a lot of habits. Those habits exhibit themselves in the playoffs. Right now, the kind of habits I'm seeing, guys over dribbling, guys not making the easy pass, guys not setting picks for each other, guys just not following the game plan, guys trying to make spectacular passes like Marcus Smart throwing the ball behind his head. Like these guys, they're like the way that they're playing basketball. It's like everybody feels like it's their contract year. Everybody feels like it's time for them to show and prove. I don't know what kind of system Brad Stevens is running behind the scenes. He might be telling guys like, "Hey, you need to show us why you're worth keeping on this team or worth not trading in the offseason." Or it might be the pressure of Kyrie leaving. Guys want to show like, hey, if I get traded because Kyrie, we're gonna keep Kyrie but trade everybody else for say Anthony Davis. I want to show other teams that I can ball, I can play. But that's not the way to go about it. These guys have to really dial it in and be focused on what's best for the team. Celtics are a fifth seed. They're a fifth seed. That's absolutely ridiculous. Right now, if they go to the playoffs as a fifth seed, the gauntlet for them to get out of the East is not going to be as easy as they think. They're going to play a team, the fourth seed, that's going to be just as good as them. Then the next is going to be the second or first seed, and then after that, they're going to play the second or first seed in the Eastern Conference semifinals. So at that point, you're basically exhausted. So they really have to ramp it up. They have to take these last 10, whatever games, 30 plus games, chunks of 10. How can we get 7 out of 10? Because they have to get a better seeding. They can possibly get knocked out of the first round of playoffs. And it's not even a joke because all the other teams are cooking on all cylinders. And if they get if they get down to the 6th seed or they get down to a 7th seed, they're in big trouble. They've been losing to scrubby teams. So what makes you think a good team like the Toronto Raptors won't thump them in the playoffs? See, guys keep looking at talent. You're like, oh, we got Jason Tatum, we got Jaylen Brown, we got this. The talent doesn't matter if everybody's not going to work as a collective glue to play together. People tend to forget that. You always tend to forget that about talent. Like, everybody's like, oh, like, this talent, it's a team. That doesn't mean anything if they're not going to work hard and work together and play smart. Miami Heat, one of the guys that you can show you, they had talent. They lost to Dallas Mavericks, which was more talented than them. You look at the Oklahoma City Thunder when they lost to the Miami Heat. They had Westbrook, Durant, James Harden, Serge Ibaka. They had 3 future MVPs on their team and almost got swept in the finals. Lost 4 games to 1. So all that talent talk doesn't mean anything. Because when they scheme for you and you guys are already fragmented in the locker room, you're going to get beat. That's just the bottom line. So I don't buy none of this stuff Kyrie's talking. And something that's very interesting about Kyrie right now, he's basically turning into to LeBron James. Like he's going after guys. He's saying like a lot in the media. He's getting frustrated and all this other stuff because he's turning into LeBron. Like so, I guess to LeBron's point, it's not so easy, is it now? Is it right now? Huh? It's not so easy that you being on your own. This is what I was trying to tell you when I was in Cleveland. Now you're trying to tell these guys, and these guys is they way worse than everybody had in Cleveland. At least guys in Cleveland listened. These guys, they're not listening at all. Everybody's playing hero ball. Everybody's freezing each other out. Only person that can stop that is the coach. And the fact that he hasn't stopped that goes to say something about Brad Stevens' nature. He likes to let things fester. I don't think he's the kind of guy that wants to hit things, right in the head, like face things right up front, like, hey, you guys shouldn't be doing this crap. Cut the shit out. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, and subscribe.